Hello and welcome back to this channel, my beautiful people. Thank you for clicking, thank you for watching, thank you for returning to this channel. Today I have a real special recipe for you. It's the Jamaican authentic Escovietch fish. If you see this dish, you know you're in Jamaica. Okay, and if you're not in Jamaica, you know it is Jamaican. It's inspired. So it is fried fish with a nicely put together sauce of all your authentic vegetables. Very spicy dish that is very welcoming, very inviting. It's very refreshing, very tasty, very spicy. This dish is going on with so much. Let's get started. So here I have some snapper. They have been washed already and scored. They are ready to be seasoned right now. They are of, reasonable sizes, so we should get a good result from these fish. I have some black pepper, some salt, and some seasoning salt, and that's all I'll be using to season the fish for frying. And all the measurement of the seasoning and the recipes, everything will be in the description, so you can see the exact measurement for everything that I'll be doing today. So I'm just going ahead to mix all the spices that I'll be using. I don't want to go too crazy with the salt, so I'm gonna be reserving some of the salt and just using mostly the black pepper and the seasoning salt. So just making sure I get the spices all over the inside and in the incision of the fish, and that's gonna boost the flavor once it is fried. So I just didn't want to use all those other spices like all-purpose and so many other spices that I could add to this. Now I'm gonna be drying the fish. This is a very important step. If the fish is wet when you put it in the oil, then it's gonna start falling apart before it even completes frying. And it's the same thing if the temperature of the oil is not hot enough. The fish is gonna fall apart before it even fries. So let me just dry them one by one, just to make very sure that I am absorbing all the water from the fish. If we're honest, all the persons who have fried fish before, they could say that they had a mishap with frying the fish by not drying the water properly from the fish, and they can tell you that what happened, how it fell apart. So I am not about that drama today. I just want to get some nicely fried fish for this dish that I'm preparing. So let me go ahead and take the time to do this. And a lot of things in life is trial and error. Sometimes you learn from other people's mistake, and sometimes you find yourself in the situation and you're having to learn from it. So please learn from this example and dry your fish properly. Don't make that mistake. So now that the fish is dried and all good to go, I have my pan with the oil on the stove, and from the looks of it, you know it's hot. So I'm just adding 4 cloves of garlic before I add the fish. And you know, the garlic is very good to use when you're frying your fish. So the oil is hot and ready. Look at that. The oil is very hot. Well, it's not too hot. I think it's on medium here. It's on medium. But if it's not hot enough, then we're gonna have problems with the fish. Fish, they are a little bit maybe too big for the pot, but I also didn't want to have like a big frying pan where the fish could not be you know, even partially covered with the oil. So with the smaller frying pan, you see that the fish, they're almost fully covered with the oil, and that's gonna give you a good crispy golden fish. So instead of it being burnt, because you know you probably don't have enough oil in the pan, this is going to be well fried and balanced on both sides with the frying. So I'm just gonna let that fry for at least 3 minutes on each side. You know, fish doesn't take long to cook, so that's all it needs for right now. And with turning the fish, it is usually a challenge because you don't want the fish to break apart. Now look at that. The pot is definitely too small. I could even remove the fish head because we're not gonna eat the head anyway. It's like there's nothing, no substance in it. Well, some people love fish head, but I mean it's all bone, right? So I could have easily removed it, and with that I would have a lot of space in the pot. But I just leave the head on mainly for presentation. And so looking at the side of the fish, you know, it's fried, it's not burned, it just have a slight golden color, and that's exactly what you want. Something that you can actually eat. So I kind of use this tool to remove it from the pot, like what we call the egg lifter, to remove it from the pot, so you know it stays together, it doesn't disintegrate. You couldn't use a fork unless you're gonna itch the fork in the head of the fish. But to just try to remove it maybe by sticking it in the middle of the fish, that's gonna break it. So you know, it's just tricks and trade and techniques in cooking. And here I've added 2 more fish to the pan, and I'm gonna let it fry. Same treatment, 3 minutes on each side. Look at these, they're beautiful. And if you notice, I have a paper towel in the pan that I put the fried fish on so that the fish can drain the excess oil. Yes, this pan is definitely too small. But it's getting the job done. And now I'm struggling to turn this one, because the truth is the fish to begin with, it wasn't that firm, so I have to be so careful with it. But it's going on fine. You know, I have seen worse fish fried before. I think these are okay. It's a nice color. Look at that. Tell me what you think in the comment section. Do your fish look like this when you fry them? Do you fry them with the head on? Like, what kind of pan do you use when you're frying your fish? Give me some tips. I mean, with the pan, as I said, I know it's small. I purposefully chose the pan because of, you know, I wanted the fish to be covered mainly with the oil. But I think I really need to get another size up from this frying pan so that I can have more room to fry the fish. But look at these, they are beautiful, and it's good size. So here we go. I'm just adding another batch to the pan. And then sometimes what you do, once you remove the fried fish from the pan, you just probably give it a minute or so before you put the fresh fish in again, because that is going to allow the oil to kind of rebuild the temperature, you know, before you put the new set of fish in. I'm going ahead now with preparing the vegetables. So what I have here, I have some fresh thyme, and I did go ahead and cut up the carrots. I didn't have the shredder for the carrots, so I had to do it manually. And now I am preparing some bell peppers, but if you realize, I am cutting them in strips, and I'm cutting them in like thinly because I won't be cooking them long on the fire. I will just be stir frying them on high heat and then removing it from the fire maybe after 3 minutes or so, because I want them to remain firm after cooking but still not raw, so that when you bite into it, it's giving you that raw taste. So that's the idea here. And the carrots, even though I, you know, did them, they call this style julienne, even though I did it by hand, I tried to keep them as thin as possible, and I did it in advance because, you know, I am left-handed and I can look very awkward with the knife doing certain things, you know, so I didn't want to show that awkwardness. I kind of said, okay, let me do this one first, comment in the comment section if you're left-handed, and let me know if you have a challenge using the knife and you look awkward doing certain stuff, and if you're good at anything in, you know, cooking, maybe cutting or peeling, anything at all like that in the kitchen that requires a lot of hand movement. Let me know how you are with that, using, you know, being left-handed. Is it easy for you? What techniques do you use to get the job done more easily or seamlessly? You know, people make fun of me many times because of my left-handedness. And the funny thing is that with some things I would say that I'm what they call ambidextrous, because I can use my left hand to do things that I can't use I can use my right hand to do things that I can't use my left hand to do, even though I am left-handed. So I find it so weird. Like I'm saying, how come I can't use my left hand to do this? Like if I'm using the scissors, like I can't use my left hand to do it. I'm saying this is weird, but I have to use my left hand to write, you know. So here I am sort of diversifying the colors of the bell pepper. I have yellow, I have green, I have red, and as I said, cutting them in thin strips. And I have 3 hot peppers on the board here, red and slightly green and yellow, and then I have a green one, but I'm just gonna use 2 only because kids will be participating in this meal and I don't want, you know, too much heat. But the nature of Escovietch fish is that it is very hot and spicy. That's the nature of it. It's the vegetables, you know, everything is gonna taste a little bit tangy, almost I would say sweet and sour. So the trick is that these vegetables that I'm cutting up, they have to be firm even after cooking, because you're just gonna be stir frying them quickly, putting in your spices, spinning them around, not covering them to let it cook and get soft. You cook it, you know, keep the pot open or the frying pan open while you stir fry them and get them off the fire as quickly as possible. So that's the nature of the Escovietch. The vegetables is kind of on the crunchy side, on the spicy side, and you use your vinegar to give you the tanginess, and then you use the sugar to balance that out, and then you have the hot pepper that is gonna give you that spiciness, and then you have the pimento seeds or the allspice that is gonna make it magical. And this type of dish is rooted in the Caribbean culture, I would say. Correct me if I'm wrong in the comment section, but that's what I know. It is a very popular dish in the Caribbean, especially in Jamaica. This is pimento, sugar, salt, black pepper, seasoning salt and vinegar, but I'll be adding more vinegar to this. And then here I have some cloves of garlic. So I'm just gonna chop those like pretty small. And look at this spread of vegetables, you know, it's so pretty. It's gonna give this dish a really delicious taste and flavor. So Escovietch fish is something that I know from my Jamaican culture that they prepare mostly in the Easter period, and they will have it with like bun and cheese, because you know in Easter it calls for bun and cheese. So they have the Escovietch fish with all these beautiful vegetables, and then they will have the bun and cheese on the side, or if they want to have the fish and the bun together only, or if they want to have the bun and the fish and the cheese mix up everything in one meal. You know, it's all depends on preference, but throughout the Easter period you'll definitely find the Escovietch fish on most Jamaicans' table. And you know, in that period too, the fish is very expensive because everybody is buying fish. Doesn't matter what kind of fish. It could be parrot, it could be butterfish, it could be snapper. It's gonna be sold out. And now I have added to the frying pan the chopped garlic. You know, the garlic is so good. If there's any impurities in the oil, the garlic is gonna just get rid of it. It is a good source of antibiotic. I'm not a medical professional, so I'm not gonna talk too much about the medicinal values of the garlic. I'll leave you to research that. But the more of it you can have in your meals, the better off you're gonna be health-wise. And then I've added the onions to that. I'm just letting everything infuse together. I'm adding the hot pepper. And this, I think, is, let me see, this is low to medium heat. I just poured in a half cup of vinegar. It's kind of tricky because this is some sugar that I'm adding. I don't want the fire to be too high so that it cooks the vegetables too quickly. And this is the crushed pimentos. You know, I'm using, maybe you'll say it's too much, but this is what is gonna bring up the flavor. This is like the star spice in this Escovietch dish. So the julienne carrots are in there along with the fresh thyme, and I'm just gonna quickly throw in the bell peppers because you know, with this process I have to move very quickly because I don't want to overcook the vegetables. And remember, as I said before, a characteristic of the Escovietch fish is that the sauce You know, it's gonna give you that very spicy taste. What is this? Some seasoning salt, and some black pepper. And you know, it calls for a little extra black pepper. And so this is the seasoning salt. Sorry, what I had put in before was a little bit of salt to kind of bring some balance with the tanginess of the vinegar, the white vinegar, and also the sweetness of the sugar that I put in. That salt is just gonna balance it out. And with these ingredients, if you have never had Escovietch fish before, I know that you can just imagine what this sauce, you know, tastes like. It's giving you that sweet and sour taste with that elevated spiciness of the hot pepper, and then the pimento now is gonna take it another step further, and then the thyme now is just gonna calm it down a bit, and everything is gonna infuse well together and give you that lovely, delicious taste. So if somebody asks you what is Escovietch fish, it's just the fried fish dried. I mean, you fry the fish dry, you know, and then you cook up your sauce with all these vegetables using all the ingredients that I listed. And then once the sauce is cooked and you know the vegetables are cooked, then you're gonna be I'm just adding a little bit extra sugar because I didn't get the balance in the taste. It was more tangy than sweet, so I just added a little bit more sugar to it. So as I was telling you that somebody asks you what is Escovietch fish, you're just gonna say it's fried fish with cooked vegetables, you know, in a sauce, and then you cover the fish with all that sauce and vegetables. If you like this recipe so far, please go ahead and give it a thumbs up, comment in the comment section. If you've done Escovietch fish before, let me know if there's anything you would have done differently. And if you have not yet subscribed, please subscribe to the channel so that you can receive notification when we drop more videos like these. So now, as you can see, the sauce is ready, and I am just covering the fried fish with the sauce and the vegetables. And once this beautiful sauce gets absorbed in the fried fish, then that's when you begin to lick your fingers, right? And look how beautiful these colorful vegetables look on the fish. And you can serve your Escovietch fish with anything you like. You know, we usually serve it with festival. Here is the fish again, the Escovietch fish. You can serve this for any occasion, really. The choice is yours. You know, it's good to serve your guests. It is not so tedious to prepare. You know, your fish can be fried in, let's say, 15 minutes, and your sauce can be done in another 10 minutes or less. And you know, you have your fry plantain or your festival or your fry breadfruit. A lot of these things I am mentioning, I will be putting a video on so you can see how to prepare them. Thanks again for watching this video. Please like, share, and subscribe, and see you next time.